My name is Donal Woods. I'm the production designer on Downton Abbey, and we're going behind the scenes with Collider. Back in 2009, we had to go early because we hoped it was going to be a success. I mean, you never know. You hope what you do is going to be successful. But they had to do a 3-year contract with a 2-year option. So it's a 5-year engagement for whichever house it was going to be. And Julian sort of said the size of the house and what it should be. And we set off, myself and Liz Trubridge and the producer. And we were up in Yorkshire for a lot, which is where it's set. So I think we probably visited 30 houses and then saw another, God knows how many, online. And for logistical reasons, it ended up that we needed to be nearer London just because it was, that's the way it is. And the first house we ever saw was, guess what, Highclere Castle. So after seeing another 30, we had a meeting in the fall of 2009 and everybody said which was their favourite. And we all thought Highclere was good. So then negotiations had to happen with Lord and Lady Carnarvon, and the rest is history, as they say.
Welcome. I hope your journey was satisfactory.
It was fine, thank you.
We built the bedrooms and we built obviously all the downstairs because, all the kitchens and servants area, just tea rooms and gift shops and all the rest of it. But really, I think the main design of finding a house like that is not to do too much. You don't want to be going in every 5 weeks or whatever it is on block 2, then take everything out, put all your, all our set deck in. It was really about, visualizing a lot of this will be very good for our story. And the thing about Highclere, all their rooms are very individual. You get very beautiful English houses, but the rooms are very similar. They're just different colors. But this, I think, there's a French drawing room, there's an English library. I mean, it just was offered so much. And I think that was another thing that clinched it. It was the right size, but it meant we didn't have to take all of their stuff out every 5 weeks. So that's part of the process.
Welcome to 1930.
The opening of the film, neon lights in Leicester Square and Shaftesbury Avenue, the West End of London, Theatreland in London, a bit like Times Square and Broadway in New York. We opened the film with something that was so different from life in the rural England. A lot of it's CGI. We did it in the back lot of the stages. Well, the vehicles were real and the people were real, but the rest of it was. The neons had to be researched because, there's a lot of clearance with companies that still exist. There were actually a lot of smoking neon advertising in those days, which of course nobody can do anymore. And also, Royal Ascot and the Great County Show, just different styles, and some were modern, some were, once again, quite traditional. But I think we had good fun making the West End of London. It's always a big pressure on the VFX company because it's the opening of the film, guys. I don't know, very pressure here, but I thought it worked really well.
My God, what a melody.
We had to pick up a different location. I mean, we shot in June, July, which is the flat racing season in England. Great, that's what timing for everybody. But Ascot now is looks like a terminal in an airport. It's just a big huge glass building. So there's about 15, 16 flat race courses in England, but we had to also get the configuration right. It's a long straight with a right bend. We ended up in a small country race course in Yorkshire, and we built the Royal Enclosure. That's a physical build because obviously the Royals were standing on it. But the rest was a cooperation with research and the VFX company. I mean, 70,000 people were at Ascot in 1930 at the Gold Cup day. So, there's a lot of replication, of crowd replication. But I think it worked well. Real race horses and real jockeys, because you can't fake that. You know what a jockey looks like and you know how fast a race course goes. So it was a nice search to go around the race courses of England and think, no, it doesn't work. Yes, it does work. And they benefit from it. They're a tiny course. They didn't have weddings on. They didn't have conferences on. They didn't, so it gave us a window of sort of 10 days to get ready.
Their Majesties must not know they're being served by anyone different. Do you hear me?
When we visited all these 30 houses, I said I sort of got inspiration for how it looked. And also it's the bottom of the house, so the walls are 3 feet thick. And I suggested, why don't we make this very monochromatic? Why don't we make, basically the below stairs is a black and white film and above stairs is a super technicolor film, but all still in the same building. And I think that worked rather well. And the costume designers as well. There's very few colors. It's grays, the blacks, and the cream, but it's minimal in a good way. And it's restrained and it's like a, Scandi film. But as soon as you go through the green baize servant's door into the above stairs, I think it makes it richer because visually you suddenly go, wow, this is got gilding and it's got texture and it's got color, it's got paintings. And below stairs there's one framed picture, but that's about it. So I think that was a conscious decision right through all the television series and the films to make those two different worlds but yet in one building. We had to change one of the pieces of furniture was a very valuable desk, so we had to change that for Robert's desk. I think it was owned by Napoleon. It was incredibly important. So no, it's really putting in the Crawleys' family lives, putting in their photographs. Photographers around there. Photographs have been going since the 1860s. So it's really putting in their stamp on basically Lord and Lady Carnarvon's library. But as a space, it's one of my favorite rooms. It's just a stunning room. It's on the east side of the house, and the sun comes up in the morning. It just looks amazing.
Here you are, eyeing up the furniture, measuring the curtains.
Maman, please. We can always buy another villa.
That's near Toulon in France. I mean, it's such hard work going around. The only hard work about it was in the middle of COVID. So we went, the location manager, myself and the producer Liz, we went down to the south of France, and I think we looked about 8 or 9 villas, but it had to be an earlier villa because obviously Violet had to be there in the 1860s. So we had to make sure it had a sort of period. And a lot of them were 1920s sort of villas. But no, it was near Toulon, and it's still there now, and it was beautiful. And as soon as we got there, that was the one. But we couldn't go back because of COVID. So we could get easy. Today, you could fly there in a day, go and see it and fly back. But the quarantines, as we all know around the world, made us, if we'd gone there for a day, you'd have to have 2 weeks quarantine. So it was a strange process. So we went to scout it with the director by somebody walking around with a video camera. I'd go, turn left, turn left, turn left. So those times seem to be an age away now, but they were complicated at the time.
You're a student of architecture.
Absolutely.
Then I do hope you'll come and inspect my little cottage.
We looked at houses. They're sort of, probably bigger than most of our houses are anyway. But, it's in a house that's supposed to be on the estate. It's not far from London. It's nearer London than Highclere. But we built the room, the main room she was in. We built that because we left it on the soundstage pretty much the whole series. When we obviously, the last film, we had it back again for when they were closing up shop with it. Only because of, Maggie was getting old then. So we just left it there so we could ease the schedule on her because she'd obviously have to come in. Sometimes she'd, be tired or not do too many scenes in the day. So that's why we built it, really. I mean, there was a perfectly good room in the house, but we replicated. We sort of changed it slightly to make it work for us. But she became part of the whole fabric of it, really, and it became a space. And you felt it was hers. And the house is actually a Christopher Wren house, just southwest of London. So, and still there now. Strangely, the production design really in these country houses hasn't changed. And I think the strength of, hopefully, the audience have liked the familiarity of it all. The costume department's had far more fun with this because the hems have gone up and they've changed from 1912 to 1930. It's a big change in women's clothing. I mean, if you go to Highclere today, there's no mid-century furniture, stuff from IKEA, or there's no Art Deco even, And I think a lot of those houses stayed the same. And I think the audience felt a bit like Robert in the film to be coming home. And sometimes it's nice to come back to something that's very familiar and very the same. And not everything has to be new and changed all the time. And I think that's something we embraced really, rather than, oh God, we've got to change it. For what reason? No, there's no reason. Just keep it the same, like all our houses stay the same for a long time.
Awesome. Donal, thank you so much for your time. It was such a pleasure meeting you and talking about all the behind the scenes stuff. I'm really excited for people to see the grand finale as well. There's so many great scenes and sets and locations. So thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it.
No problem.